Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and tackle something that perfectly combines the incredible thrill of total independence with the sheer, utter terror of managing your own money for the very first time. Yep, we're talking about college finances. It's a massive transition. Literally, one day you're living at home, and the next you're thrown into campus life where you've got limited income, total freedom, and those predatory credit card tables set up right in the quad. It's the perfect storm. You can do some immense financial damage here. But, and this is the exciting part, it is also your greatest window of opportunity to set yourself up for life.
$30,000. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the staggering average amount of student loan debt graduates are dragging across the commencement stage right now. But we really have to think about what that number actually does to a post-grad's life. It isn't just some boring statistic, it's a massive anchor. It means delaying moving out of your parents' house. It means putting off investing, delaying home ownership, and watching a huge chunk of your monthly paycheck just vanish before you can even buy groceries. It literally dictates your entire 20s. But here's the truth. You absolutely do not have to be that statistic. Students who master their cash flow early graduate with way less debt, and we're going to explore exactly how they pull it off.
We're pulling these insights directly from a highly practical guide by personal finance expert Mohammed Mateen. And honestly, his advice is so valuable because he wasn't born a financial guru. During his first semester, he made literally every money mistake in the book. He got that initial financial aid refund, felt incredibly rich, bought everyone takeout, paid full price for brand new premium textbooks, and was completely broke by November. Yikes, right? It was only after that super painful wake-up call that he developed a system that actually worked. His field-tested experience proves that the habits you build right now, spending intentionally, saving consistently, and dodging bad debt, will compound into real wealth for decades.
So here is our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover 1. The college money trap. 2. Building a simple budget. 3. Hacking your biggest expenses. 4. Making money on campus. 5. Handling student loans wisely. And finally, 6. The power of early savings.
All right, jumping straight into section 1, the college money trap. We need to separate actual income from debt.
When that financial aid refund hits an 18-year-old's bank account, the psychology of it is so dangerous. It looks like a massive payday. A $3,000 lump sum feels like infinite wealth when you've never had a full-time job. But we have to break this illusion right now. A student loan is borrowed money attached to interest. It is not income, and it is most certainly not free cash. Every single time you use loan money to order late-night pizza or grab concert tickets, you're financing a temporary memory with long-term debt. Thanks to compounding interest over 10 years, that $20 pizza actually ends up costing you $40 by the time you finally pay it off. No way is it worth that.
Moving out of that danger zone, let's head right into section 2, building a simple budget, which is basically creating your financial blueprint.
Look, you do not need an accounting degree or crazy complicated spreadsheets to do this. You just need to follow a straightforward 4-step hierarchy to take absolute control of your cash flow. First, identify your true income sources, so part-time wages, parental support, or grants. Second, lock down your fixed expenses. These are the non-negotiables, like rent or your cell phone bill. Third, define your variable expenses. This is where you track groceries, entertainment, and those 2 a.m. taco runs. And fourth, this is absolutely crucial. Always allocate a portion to savings. Even if it's tiny, treating savings as a fixed expense builds the incredible habit of paying yourself first.
Now, let's talk about the real magic of a baseline budget. By strictly managing a lean $1,000 monthly budget, you unlock a massive financial advantage. Think about it. The typical college lifestyle, living in a premium dorm, buying the unlimited dining hall plan, is insanely expensive. By choosing off-campus housing with roommates, cooking your own meals, and capping your lifestyle using a strict baseline, an average student can literally save $1,000 a month compared to the traditional expensive college path. Seriously, $1,000 every single month that you do not have to borrow. Aggressively trimming the fat prevents a total tidal wave of future debt.
Now that we've got our budget locked in, let's jump to section 3, hacking your biggest expenses. It's time to play some tactical defense with your wallet.
To actually hit that $1,000 monthly savings goal, we have to ruthlessly attack variable costs, and we're starting with textbooks. We all know the universal pain of buying a $200 biology book, keeping it in the shrink wrap, and then realizing the professor never even opened it. Do not walk into the campus bookstore and pay full price on day one. Rent your books on Chegg, buy them heavily used on eBay, or just check the campus library reserves. The ultimate pro tip? Just wait a week into the semester to see if the required reading is actually required. These aren't just penny-pinching tricks, they are massive levers that keep real cash in your pocket.
Next up is food, which is honestly the easiest place to accidentally bleed cash.
Contrast the massive financial drain of a $25 cold burger delivered via Uber Eats against the strategic mastery of a $4 home-cooked meal prep container. If you have a meal plan, use every single swipe you paid for. If you buy groceries, skip the expensive organic markets and hit up discount stores like Aldi or Lidl. Sunday meal prep is your absolute greatest defensive weapon here. Setting a strict limit to only eat out once a week keeps you well within that baseline budget and actively defends those massive monthly savings.
Defense is crucial, for sure, but let's shift gears to Section 4, making money on campus. Let's go on the offensive.
Earning your own money changes the game completely. One of the absolute best college life hacks is becoming a resident advisor. Sure, it involves dealing with noisy freshmen, but it often comes with completely free housing and sometimes even a free meal plan. That move alone eliminates your biggest fixed expense, instantly keeping over $1,000 a month right in your pocket. But hey, if the RA life isn't for you, tap into the gig economy. Do freelance on Fiverr, drive for Uber Eats, or grab a super quiet library desk job. Working just 10 to 15 hours a week builds an active cash cushion so you never have to touch loan money for weekend fun.
Next, we arrive at Section 5, handling student loans wisely. This is truly the boss level of college finance. You have to handle borrowed money strategically. A huge psychological trap is automatically accepting the maximum loan amount they offer in your portal. Just don't do it. Calculate your exact shortfall and borrow only what you absolutely need to survive. Plus, you must prioritize federal loans over private ones. Federal loans offer essential protections, fixed interest rates, and income-driven repayment plans that private lenders just don't care to provide. And remember, the scholarship search does not end after high school. You need to be aggressively applying for campus-specific scholarships every single year.
Okay, we need to establish the golden rule of borrowing right now. Keep your total student loan debt below your expected first-year salary. Let's make the stakes very real here. If you take out 80 grand in loans for a career field that typically pays 40 grand entry level, you are setting yourself up for an absolute disaster. After taxes and those exorbitant student loan payments, half of your take-home pay is going to instantly vanish to the bank. You'll be left with poverty wages while trying to start your adult life. Cap your borrowing to match your realistic future income.
Finally, let's look at Section 6, the power of early savings, where we finally unlock the mechanics of compound interest.
This is exactly why we make sacrifices today. If you save just $50 a month while in college and invest it at an average historical return of 7%, you are looking at over $250,000 by the time you hit traditional retirement age. $250,000. This isn't magic, it's just the mechanics of compound interest. Your money simply makes money. Starting this process at 18 or 19 gives you a 40-plus year runway for that cash to snowball, and that's a runway that a 30-year-old can never get back. This math completely justifies all the expense hacking and budgeting we've been talking about.
You know, budgeting is often framed as restriction, but it's actually about freedom. It's really less about the $10 a week itself, and entirely about the identity shift from being a passive consumer to an active investor. Scraping together just a tiny amount every week builds the vital muscle memory of saving. You're effectively paying your future self first. That way, when you do finally land that big post-grad salary, you already have the discipline to build massive wealth instead of just inflating your lifestyle.
Now you gotta protect that hard-earned money by dodging the psychological traps designed to drain your wallet. Credit card companies target students ruthlessly. If you use a card to build credit, you must pay the balance in full every single month. Never carry a balance. Moreover, do not let the fear of missing out dictate your spending. Looking your friends in the eye and saying no to a spring break trip you can't afford is the absolute ultimate flex of financial maturity. And lastly, aggressively leverage that .edu email address. Always ask for student discounts on software, subscriptions, and entertainment.
As we wrap this up, let me ask you directly. What is your biggest money challenge in college right now? Seriously, think about it. Pinpoint your biggest financial hurdle and immediately start applying the tactics we discussed to conquer it. Are you going to let the next 4 years dictate a lifetime of financial stress? Or are you going to use this playbook to aggressively save $1,000 a month, minimize your debt, and basically buy your future freedom? The choice starts today. The students who build strong money habits now are the ones who build wealth the fastest